right. Hey guys. So what we talked about earlier, unfortunately, has happened, and now for how long, we're not really sure. So I know the State Board of Education is meeting on the 23rd. We might have more information from that, and it really just depends on what the governor decides. For instance, if things might not seem out of control here, even though cases are getting closer and closer, things like Fulton County and Atlanta and Marietta and Cobb County, they are seeing a lot of cases increasing. And, it's not fair for them to just shut down their schools and then everybody else kind of keep going. Plus, it's just about containing it, right? So remember, it might not be a super concern for you, but you could be a carrier that could possibly infect your family members or older family members. And that's why we're trying to all stay inside in order to reduce the amount of contact and make sure that the spread doesn't happen here in Savannah like it's happening in other cities. All right. So that being said, though, we're still expected to continue our education, and we're going to be doing that online. So this is kind of an informational video to kind of help you out and get you started on what Edgenuity is. Hopefully that also means that you can kind of work independently on your own. So I wouldn't have to say, all right, we have to do this day, we have to do this day. It's more going to be at your own pace, and I'm going to give you due dates on when things are due. And the program actually kind of paces you out to make sure that you're staying on task and you're doing what needs to be done. And hopefully there are more other teachers that are also giving you this assignment on this Edgenuity platform besides myself, okay? So that being said, though, everything that you need to do is go to Google Classroom. So over here on classes, click on your Google Classroom page for physics right there, okay? So that brings you to this little section here. I have the first and second week of emergency lesson plans. If we go beyond that, more information will be posted, more lessons will be posted in order for you to work on and complete, okay? So we're gonna start with week 1, and then next week, when there's another week, there's a couple of days that definitely are going to be out. If it's the whole week, then I'll send another video and I'll make sure to take you step by step through all the weeks that you have, okay? So this is the breakdown. So go ahead and look at this. This is kind of showing you the lesson name. So this will be the name that's on the lesson. Here's the standard. And then there's like a little warm-up. It's just like a little get ready. And then you have the instruction, which is going to take you through, which is a direct instructor kind of teaching you information. When you have the instruction, you can take notes. You can actually do it. They give you like a little note section online that you can take, or you can go ahead and handwrite notes, but take good notes. You'll be able to use those on your quizzes and things like that on the platform. Okay, so it's not like you can't use your notes on here. You definitely can use your notes for the quizzes that are coming up. Then there's like a summary, which is just a review. Did you learn? Do you know what you were talking about? Did you pay attention? That kind of stuff. And then there's an assignment that's going to be graded that shows you what you did. Solve the problems involving harmonic motion, and you'll do that. And then at the end of every lesson, there's the quiz. All right. So that's what you'll be doing. So that's the platform for the whole thing. So it breaks it down for day 1, which is harmonic motion. Day 2 is introduction to waves. Day 3 of wave properties. Day 4 is wave interactions. And day 5 is sound waves. So it kind of takes you through the whole situation for each of those lessons that you have, and they're all set up the same way. And they'll even show you how long it's expected for most of them to take. It might take you a little longer if you need to reread some things. It might take you very quickly if you're good and you get content really fast and can move on, all right? So we're going to just focus on that. That's just week 1, and that's all we're going to focus on right now. You can go ahead and look at week 2, but don't bother. We're going to do this week by week and not have to worry about anything ahead of that. All right, so now this brings us to how do you log into Edgenuity, all right? On the Google Classroom, there is a link to your Clever login. Clever Login is a district thing where it keeps all your passwords and you don't have to remember any of them for different platforms. It is your same password, that's your email address and your username that you always use, or your email address and your password for any computer login, your school accounts, anything like that. Okay, so click on the Clever link here in the Google Classroom. And then if it's logged in already through your page, it'll go ahead and just bring you straight to the page. If it's not logged in, let me try to log out of this. Don't know if I can log out of this. No. Let me see. I want to show you what it would look like just in case it's not logged in, okay? It won't let me. All right, well. Oh well, can't figure it out. So, anyways, it'll take you to the thing that'll say Savannah Chatham Schools, and then on there it'll say log in with district, and just click on that. You should be able to figure it out. And if it doesn't, it brings up that traditional like side thing where it's like sign in to Savannah Chatham. Go ahead and sign in, kind of using that. Again, it's just your school email address and your school password. Log that in and it'll take you to this Clever page. If you have any issues with that or any problems logging in, please put a question in the classroom feed down below. Please do that. So don't send me an email because I don't check my email very often, especially not being in school right now. It's just not linked up and it's hard to get to because they have so many security options on it. Send it through Google Classroom. I have notifications on my phone. I should be able to get back to you very, very quickly. Okay, probably quicker than if you were in class. All right. So once that's done, you go onto your Clever, and then this will show you scroll down to extra apps, and there will be an app that looks like this that says Edgenuity. Click on it. When you click on it, it brings you to the page that will go ahead and open up, and it'll go right into it. So this is not what yours will look like. Yours will actually look a little bit more like this. It shows you all the classes that you're enrolled in. So for instance, I have AP Environmental Science here and Physics. Yours would look like this, GA, GSE, Physics. That's going to be the Physics one for me. You might have other classes on there that are still using this as well, that they've also given you instructions on how to log in. You might have Spanish, you might have history, whatever it is, math, it's all going to show up here, all right? When the classes start, which is on Monday, you're going to have a bar here that's going to be either green, it's going to show you red, it's going to show you yellow, and it's going to show you where you should be on target. Your goal is to stay in the green. Green means that you're finishing things on time. If you're in the red or the yellow, that means you're falling behind. Yellow, just a little bit, you need to catch up. Red, you're falling way behind, and you need to make sure that you make up what you're missing, all right? The actual grade that you're going to go ahead and see here, that's just going to show you your progress as you move out. So maybe you're making 100% on everything. That's okay, even though you're making that 100%. It might only show 20%. And the reason for that is because you haven't finished the whole classroom lesson. Okay, so it's only going to show you up to the percent that you had finished. But it'll show you your grades that you've made on the assignments as you work on them throughout. All right, but the actual grade is kind of like what you're working up towards, okay? The actual grade, which is the overall grade, is going to be what is going to go in as an assessment grade. So that's going to be 60% of your grade is going to be from the actual grade. Everything else is going to be individual grades. So classwork, if it's the direct instruction lesson, if it's anything like that, it's going to go into your classwork assessment. Quizzes, same thing, that's going to go into your assessment for 20%. You also are going to have unit tests next week after this week one, which are going to be your 60% category, but not as much as the overall actual grade. Okay, so it's not, they're going to be weighted a little bit differently. So you want to make sure that you're doing well on the actual grade, because that's actually going to be a big test assessment grade that goes into the grade book. All right. Let me know if you had any questions about that down in the comments below. Okay. All right. So if you click into it, it'll show you it goes into next activity. Oh, and then I just logged out. So this is what it would look like if it's kicked you out. But anyways, all right. Go into the activity. It breaks everything down. It shows you what you're supposed to be doing. It shows you kind of, let me move this. It shows you kind of the simple harmonic motion. It shows you that there's a pre-test that's required. You have to go in and take it, answer the questions. It tells you that the lesson length is going to be 1 hour and 3 minutes, that there are 5 activities, what this is, shows you what the warm-up is. It kind of takes you through the stuff that's going to be there. This is kind of for me, and this is my report that's going to have it. It's going to have a map of what needs to be done for you, okay? And then when you do that, and you start your instruction, it'll take you into it. So to show you that this is a pre-test, go through, do your best. It shows you that you have an estimated 1 hour time to complete your pre-test, and you go into it. And then once you're finished with that, it'll move you on to the next section, and it'll just keep going and keep going. All right. You can work ahead. So if you were like, I'm going to sit down and get all my physics done today, and then tomorrow I'm going to do all my math, you can do that. All right. So sit down, get it done. But remember, quizzes are assessment grades. Take your time on those. You're able to use your notes on this. Use your notes. Take good notes in order for you to do that. I encourage you to use Cornell notes. They're really, really helpful. It will improve your quiz grades if you struggle with trying to learn content. If you don't, you won't do well. Please use Cornell notes if you struggle with that and need to use those and need that extra help. Where do you got to be? You got plenty of time. Take this time to improve those grades for the second quarter. Especially for some of you, you really need a strong second quarter. Use this as an opportunity. Don't use this as an excuse. All right? Okay, that's Edgenuity. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about how to use it or what you're doing or anything like that, please let me know. Follow the week 1 schedule that's listed in the Google Classroom. I think you could move on to week 2, which is okay for you guys. If you wanted to go ahead and do that, you can. But there is a test coming up. So there is going to be an opportunity for you to submit any questions that you may have about any of the material before the test. And then I'll go over some of those in a direct instruction that I'll post up and send to you, kind of showing you examples, guided practice questions, things like that. All right. We can do this. We can get through this. Very simple. People do online classes all the time, and therefore they come out just fine. All right. So let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns again. And please leave comments in the Google Classroom. Please not email. And that'll be it. So I'll speak to you guys soon. And you guys have a great rest of your spring break. Okay, guys.